Hello ladies and gentlemen, good evening. The time is 7 o'clock and the date is 4th of the 10th 2012. I'd like to tell you about something that has happened first of all about an hour ago. The member that I previously spoke to, the very same guy who is in contact with Mr. Potkin, the Iranian group who are hired, they're cooperating with the MI5 and Home Office in order to deal with my cases. They've got lawyers and a lot of other things which I previously spoke about, Baha'i groups. The gentleman who lives upstairs in my house, he's a Baha'i member. He's the very same guy who was in contact with Mr. Potkin and other people which I'll be mentioning at the court. He comes to me today and says, you've got to keep your mouth shut, otherwise they're going to take you to a mental health hospital and then they're going to give you some of those injections that you had before, and then you won't be able to move and you won't be able to do anything. This is what they plan to do to you. This is actually a threatening behavior. I have been threatened, and this is a psychological torture. And then when I tell him, what are you talking about, he laughs on my face. They actually train everyone to torture you. It actually burns from inside when the people laugh in your face and they tell you things like that for a psychological torture. This is what he has said today. I believe there are listening devices in my house, so the people will be able to go and actually listen. He's the very same guy who has been given iPhone 4s to record my voice and deal with a lot of stuff. After later on down the line, they actually took his phone from him due to the substantial amount of money was offered and many other things. When I realized, that's why he's really upset. He's the very same guy, as I said, in contact with Mr. Potkin and other people. He was the connection who received all my information from Home Office and handed to the member of the Iranian Secret Services. He's a very same person. He actually works with a bit of both. This is what he has said. And ladies and gentlemen, imagine when they drug you all the time. As I said, not recently, this is something that has been happening all the time. They always drug you and they tell you have a psychological problem. Everyone will say that for receiving a substantial amount of money you will potentially have you think you have a psychological problem, you end up in a hospital, and then they'll keep you with the medication there. This is a sort of a monsters these people are. This is what they're trying to do. I am under the massive psychological torture by the people who have been hired by Home Office apparently to help, but at the same time they were advised and they were trying to torture you, and they tell you things like, for instance, I have a problem at the moment finding a new property and I have to move out, and I have a financial difficulties to be able to find a new property. He comes to me and says, oh, they want to put you in a mental health hospital, give you some of those injections, you better go back to Iran, you better go back to Iran, you better go back to Iran. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the type of the things they actually do. They torture you, they burn you from inside out, and they put you under a massive amount of pressure. This is what they're actually saying to me. This is what they've said to me today, and this is what's actually going on. I would like to let you know, if Mr. Potkin is also watching this, Mr. Potkin, due to a type of the type of a house that we live in, when you two actually arguing sometimes on the phone, I can actually listen. You know, like for instance, the last time I was saying, he was saying, I obviously cannot listen what you were saying, but I can work out the way he talks as I put on my previous videos about you, and you guys were arguing about oh, why did he find out, he told you to it's not my fault and go and do whatever you like, and a lot of things like that. Mr. Potkin, stop sending all these threats. Please stop sending all these threats, because once this matter goes to the court and everything comes out, I mean, what you guys are gonna do? I have been subject to the psychological torture by the Home Office through the people that I know. You guys coming up to me saying you have a psychological problem, and you threatening to taking me to the hospital and give me some of those injections that you're referring to. Again, in case if I do not keep my mouth shut, it is a threatening behavior, it is a psychological torture, and this is what you guys are trying to do, and laughing in my face to make me upset and piss me off just because I realized about that 300 and something or 500 and something thousand pounds that he was offered and he's not gonna get apparently right now, and he's really pissed off about that. Mr. Potkin, stop doing what you're doing. MI5, I mean, I'm not going to ask you guys to stop anymore, to be quite honest. Carry on doing what you're doing, Mr. Potkin. MI5, carry on doing what you're doing. Home Office, carry on doing what you're doing. Enjoy your time. Enjoy the torture. Torture me as much as you can. Just telling me all this stuff as much as you can. Sending me death threats as much as you can. Torture me as much as you can. Give me psychological torture as much as you can. Put me under massive amount of pressures as much as you can. Carry on doing what you guys are doing. Carry on doing what you guys are doing. I'm just praying. If I have to go and sleep in the park in the mud, I will do. I'm just praying for that moment. I'm not going to do anything as you guys are provoking me 24/7. I'm not going to do anything until that moment that I go through the court. The second I manage to stand in front of a judge at the court, this is the moment in my lifetime that I'm waiting for. Carry on the torture, carry on the psychological problem, put me under as much pressures as you like, put me under as much pressures as you like, until we go to the court, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for listening. As I previously said, I cannot find a lawyer due to reasons that government does not allow me. Anytime I try to get a lawyer, the lawyers get contacted too, and they get told, oh, he has psychological problem, he has this, he has that, don't take him seriously, don't take on his case. I cannot even take lawyers for a moment that I was beaten up, which I have the pictures to prove, and they're also on cameras as well. For that moment I was beaten up by the police. So I am a hostage. I am sort of a mouse that you have at the labs and you test drugs on. I'm a hostage for the government of UK. Home Office has keeping me as a hostage, torturing me 24/7, putting me under a massive psychological pressure, hiring different people to send threats to me to do a threatening behavior, telling me horrible things. This is what they're doing at this moment of time. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.